talking about self-help today. We're talking about self-development. We're talking about growth. We're talking about business if you're into that. Mostly just elevating my flow familia. I hope everyone had a good day. We are not jump roping today. I will make that very clear. Couple reasons. If y'all didn't know, I am very competitive. Like, to my core, in my genes. It may or may not be hereditary. So I'm competitive, okay? I went to soccer last night, as I told you guys, and I have not played with my family. I used to play like every week, every other week. They do indoor soccer, and it's really fun, and I love it. And it's a little cheat way to get my cardio in and just be with my family a little bit. Anyways, I'm getting off track, but it's co-ed, and I was trying to beat this guy to the ball. I was booking it, and I got to the ball, but I slipped on the ball, and I rammed myself into the wall so hard. I don't know, whatever organ is right here. I was like this, and I elbowed myself. It was not okay. And I don't know what happened right here, but you can't see it, but it's messed up, and that knee is already messed up from cheer. So yeah, co-star said I need to nurture myself today. So we did Pilates this morning at home, and we're gonna relax and stretch and eat some food, take a shower, and go pick up my bestie from the airport. So my body is screaming at me right now, and I'm ending my period today, so it's just everything. So I wanted to just come on here and talk about books. Okay, I have told you guys I've been getting back into fiction, and we can talk about that in another video, because if you guys haven't read the Care of All series, run, go read it. Also, I just started Powerless, and I heard that it's so juicy. I am so excited. But talking about self-help today. We're talking about self-development. We're talking about growth. We're talking about business if you're into that. Mostly just elevating. These are not my only book recommendations. I got my whole prized collection over there. I'm building my stack, okay? I need a bookshelf at this point. But these would be my top that I actually physically have and have read. 2 of these I'm only like halfway through, but in my opinion, every woman and man, for that matter, should read these books if you're trying to better yourself. There's so many books on everything, and I feel like these ones, a lot of the ones, these especially, are so simple. So this one, it's called It's called Understanding Masculine Psychology. I saw it at the farmer's market. That's where I usually get all my books, because they have this book stand, and they are absolutely amazing. I love them. I love supporting them, and they always got gold. I end up buying something every time I go, because I'm like, I'm not going to buy more books until I read my other ones. This was so good. Like, I cannot stress this enough. This was crazy. Like, I did not know what to expect going into this, and I'm going to order all 4 other books of this, because there's a He, Understanding Masculine Psychology, and then there's She, obviously, Understanding Feminine Psychology, We, Understanding the Psychology of Romantic Love, Inner Work, Using Dreams and Active Imagination for Personal Growth, Ecstasy, Understanding the Psychology of Joy, and I plan on reading all of those, because this was so quick. I finished this in literally, like, I could have finished it in one sitting if I wasn't busy, but I could not put this down. Like, I finished this in 2 days. It's obviously short, but it was so easy to read, and it was actually so insightful. Like, I didn't know what I expected, but this is not about understanding men. Let me just stop right there. This is not about understanding men. This book, because if you guys know, we all have masculine and feminine energy. We need both. Alexis, if you don't know her, Awwlexis, she talks about this a lot, and she uses the egg theory. So us as women, our masculine energy would be like the shell of the egg, and the yolk is our feminine, the actual egg itself, the yolk inside of the egg white, whatever. The inside is the feminine, and without the outside, we would just be on the floor like a blob. Okay, so this book really made me understand not only myself and but males, obviously, but mainly made me understand like my masculine side and what parts of me are like wounded masculine still that I need to work on. And it just really was super insightful about the world as well, because as you know, like there's no denying it, the world is pretty much run by men. Like, you know what I mean? It's man-made. It's a lot of masculine energy just in the world. Like, you know what I mean? So it's very male dominant. So this just really made me understand like the ways of the world, and it was in the ways of society. And just, it was so interesting. It was so interesting. And they did touch on the feminine and how the masculine affects the feminine and how the feminine affects the masculine, but they really dive deep into that on She. So I plan on ordering that on Amazon because I can't find it. But I'm being stubborn because I want the pink one or the blue one or whatever, but they don't have it on Amazon. They just have the original. Long story long. This is good and short and easy to read. Go read it. Another quick short read. So there are so many freaking books on Zen and whatever. This was amazing. It had some illustrations. It was actually like had some humor. It's written by Robert Allen. It's called Zen Reflections, and I'll read you the back. So it says, what can Zen really do for you? Will Zen see you through the rough patches? What does Zen have to say about good and evil? Did you know that you are a Buddha in the waiting? The inspiring collection of reflections is a warm-hearted and intimate exploration of the nature and practice of Zen. Gently unraveling the mysteries of Zen, it answers the questions and explodes the myths that commonly surround this ancient spiritual practice, revealing a Zen that is stripped off of its fancy dress trappings and robes and bells and is firmly rooted in the modern world. Robert Allen's uplifting insight are a refreshing and thought-provoking introduction to a rewarding and often misunderstood philosophy. This really just broke it down so simple. It was so easy to write. It was so easy to read. It was fun. It has like illustrations in there, and at least the one that I got, like the pages are like, they feel different. Like it was just very aesthetically like pleasing, and the way that they like it was just funny. Like it was funny. Like they had a sense of humor, and it was so easy to understand, and it didn't make it overcomplicated. Like it was just, I loved it. So this is just about being Zen, and it's super easy to read. The one that I just finished, if you're going to read any of these books, read this one. I don't know if I said that about but no. This book, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, Dr. Joe Dispenza. This is a must. Every single person should be required to read this book. Schools should be required to make you read these books. This one specifically. If I read this book in high school, I would probably be a freaking... Everybody, like, why don't they teach these things in school? This is literally genius. This is about breaking free of subconscious programmings and literally cultivating a new personal reality by changing your personality and stripping yourself of everything that does not serve you and becoming aware of it and making lasting change. Because you can do all these things, but if you just keep repeating the same cycles, if you keep falling back into the same things, it's not gonna. This is a guide to truly making a lasting change that's going to make a difference. And I just finished it. Well, okay, I have one chapter left, but it's the end, which is just explaining his meditation. What is it called? Not concept, but his meditation, like, I'm losing my train of thought, but the way that he created his form of meditation, whatever. It's just taking you through the guide through the 4-week process after you're finished reading the book. So I read the book part of the book, if that makes sense. But also has illustrations. It's just, if you're into, like, it's very visual. If you're into the science behind things, I love when science backs up spirituality. It's just, I'm going to make a whole video on that too. But this is just freaking amazing. I'm obsessed. This one I'm only halfway through because I started reading that one. Psycho-Cybernetics, this is about also the mind, improving your self-image, learn to use your positive past, set and achieve worthwhile goals, develop compassion, self-respect, and forgiveness, cultivate the power of rational thinking, discover the key to a happier, more successful life. This, at least so far, I've read, is really good as well. I'm just not a fan of paperbacks because I'm not gentle, and as you can tell, it looks a little rough. Like, who took a bite out of it? And then my daughter, I didn't even notice this until, like, tell me you have a toddler without telling me you have a toddler. Hey, but at least she knew, like, let me go to the back where there's no words, you know, at least she's that smart. I love her. So yeah, Psycho-Cybernetics. This, even if you're not, like, really into Buddhism, this has so many good just ways to go about life. You know, they say a lot of times Buddhists and Buddhism gets a bad rap because they think it's a religion. It's not. Buddhism is not a religion. It's a way of life. It is and can be paired with any religion that you practice, whether you're Christian, whether you're Hindu, whether you're Muslim. You can practice Buddhism. It's a practice. It's a way of life. It is not a religion. And they talk about that here. The Buddha was not a god. He was a teacher, and the Four Noble Truths and the Noble Eightfold Path. So right view, right intention, right livelihood, right concentration, right speech, right thoughts. Wait, hold on. Right view, right intention, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right concentration, and right mindfulness. We can get into those in another video, but that is the Noble Eightfold Path. They talk about this. They talk about the Four Noble Truths, and it's just a really awesome perspective. Yeah, right here it says the Buddha taught mindfulness, kindness, compassion. The Buddhism, the family of religions that evolved from the Buddhist teaching, is one of the great ethical systems for the benefit of humanity. So, yeah. So this is awesome. I would read that as if you're into that kind of stuff. This is more on the business sides, and like people, like society, but obviously like making money and stuff. Think and Grow Rich. I know you guys have heard of it, but if you haven't read it, go read it. And Rich Dad Poor Dad. There's the audiobook on YouTube for free. The recorded, if you don't, want to buy the book, that's what I did. I listened to that one. But Think and Grow Rich is an amazing book, and just about just cultivating wealth from within to see that in your outer world. And this is How to Win Friends and Influence People. Literally, just the title. These two are self-explanatory. I don't have to go into these too much. But yeah, so those are my top book recommendations that I have. I am going to go eat some lasagna and take a shower before I have to go pick up my bestie. I love you guys. I hope you enjoy these books. Let me know if you guys have read any of them. But I am starving. Okay. Yeah. And let me know what books you guys are reading and what books you guys recommend and what books you guys would like to read together, fiction or nonfiction. And yeah, I hope you guys have a beautiful day and night, I guess now, and have a great day tomorrow. Bye.